Parliament dissolved as December 8 is announced as the date for general elections in Dominica. The United Workers' Party officially launches its general election campaign and research into African dances that have survived here. I'm Idona Baptist, and this is Channel 5 News. Details after this.
On the ground and around the world.
This is my seat. That's yours.
18 Degrees North uncovers, investigates, and celebrates Caribbean stories with global impact.
We're ready for the road.
Welcome to 18 Degrees North.
This house was first purchased by the Robinsons, who then sold it to Indra Ford in 2007. She loved baking, but last year she forgot to turn off the stove. Luckily, Sagicor General was there to help rebuild. So now, the house will smell of sweetbread again for a long, long time. We know this house, like we know every house we insure. Across the land, throughout the region, we've been there. Sagicor General, wise financial thinking for life.
Ozone. Use ozone. 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 Never done till the dirt is gone. Ozone.
Strong preparation. Strong concentration. Strong teamwork. Strong nerve. Strong performance. Strong oil. Volkswagen recommends Castrol Edge, our strongest oil. Castrol, it's more than just oil, it's liquid engineering.
Thanks for staying with us. First up, Dominicans who are eligible to vote and have not registered have until Thursday to do so. Dominicans will go to the polls on December 8 to elect a government to lead them for another 4 years. On Wednesday, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit announced the election date during an address to the nation. The Electoral Commission has informed Channel 5 News the deadline for people to register to vote is by midnight the next day after the writ has been issued.
Accordingly, and with full confidence in the capacity of voters to decide objectively and choose wisely, I have today, Wednesday, the 5th day of November 2014, in accordance with the provisions of Section 54 of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Dominica, advise His Excellency the President to dissolve the Parliament of Dominica with immediate effect and to issue a writ for the holding of general elections. Election day is Monday, the 8th day of December 2014. May God bless and guide each and every one of you. May God bless the Commonwealth of Dominica.
Nomination day is on November 19. Still on the election scene, a Barbadian political consultant thinks it would not have been sensible for Prime Minister Skerrit to draw out general elections until next year. Peter Wickham has worked in Dominica for the past 8 years conducting political opinion polls under his Caribbean Development Research Services. The last general elections took place on December 18, 2009. Wickham had predicted last week that the announcement of general elections would be in a matter of days or weeks.
The Prime Minister would have 30 days, 90 days on from December. It is now, November, the beginning of November. So my assumption is that within a month, he would want to say what's happening. So a month is 30 days. So I'm saying there's either 30 days or days or weeks. Across the Caribbean, we have not had many instances in which people went into the constitutional period, the 90 days.
Wickham told the media that the United Workers' Party has a challenge in finding a leader as popular as Roosevelt Skerrit. He said in this case, an earlier election date before its constitutionally due date is justifiable.
When a government goes into that period, it's usually because they are struggling for some reason. And I don't think that it would be strategically prudent for Prime Minister Skerrit to go into that period. I can't see any reason why he would want to. Because my assumption is that, based on what I said to you before, the history has put him in a very enviable position now, where he is probably the most comfortable of all of the Caribbean prime ministers in terms of where he sits. And I would be surprised if he would want to jeopardize that by going into January, February, March next year.
Meantime, the opposition UWP has officially launched its election campaign on Wednesday, November 5.
The United Workers' Party has embarked on what it's called a 21-in-1 campaign. On Sunday, November 9, they will also be hosting a major national rally in the Roseau South constituency.
So in every single constituency, there will be a political meeting tonight. I myself will be moving around the country quite a bit and making myself known and presence giving some sort of presence at as many of those meetings as possible. But these meetings will be running concurrently between 6 and 11 tonight in all 21 constituencies.
On Saturday, the party will be hosting a show under the banner The Dominican Artists Concert for Change. The show will feature local artists.
If you are an artist, be at the Harlem Plaza. Like I say, everybody may not be able to perform, but you can show where you stand. You can show who you are, a real artist. At the gate, we will not specify the price. What we say at the gate is, pay what you can. We'll keep the change.
The event on Sunday has been named Victory for Change Rally. Meanwhile, political leader of the UWP, Lennox Linton, questions whether the Electoral Commission is ready for elections.
We've come now to more than a year since the Electoral Commission has been talking to us about ID cards for voting, which go back to a decision that the Commission made back in 2008, more than 6 years ago. To date, the Commission cannot tell the people of Dominica whether we will vote with an accurate register of electors and whether we will have ID cards for voting. But Mrs. Skerrit is ready to call election, and we are ready, having engaged honestly with the people of Dominica over the past 8 to 12 months.
Linton expressed concern that the Electoral Commission would be conducting elections under the same arrangements that were used in previous elections. He says that the Electoral Commission has agreed that electoral reform is necessary. Channel 5 News was unable to reach chairman of the Electoral Commission in response to Linton's statements.
In some developments from the Independence weekend, Prime Minister Skerrit has promised to expand on policies implemented over the last 14 years to improve the economy.
Some of these policies outlined in his Independence Day address include universal primary and secondary education. The Prime Minister said education was the key to success, and that's why his administration had made it a priority by investing heavily in it. 58 million was earmarked for human resource development in the financial year ending 2013.
In appreciation of the great opportunities available in this new millennium, we embarked on a policy of education and training for all Dominicans. Education has multiple benefits. Not only is it a vital tool for self-development, but when it is made available to each and every citizen, its impact on the creation of wealth and the elimination of poverty is magnified.
Skerrit says his current goal is universal early childhood and tertiary education. He says creating jobs and reducing poverty are among his major goals.
During the past 14 years, your government has intensified its support to the established private sector and trained, funded, and supported budding entrepreneurs by designing and funding innovative institutions whose unique goal is to grow the pool of local entrepreneurs. Among these were the Dominica Youth Business Trust, the National Development Foundation of Dominica, the Employment and Small Business Support Agency, and the National Employment Program. Rest assured that these efforts, together with all those others that have delivered the goods over the past 14 years, will continue and be increased during our next term in office.
You're watching Channel 5 News. We'll have more after the break.
Shopping is a lot easier with Courts Ready Finance. Choose what you want from our wide range of quality products, and we take care of the rest. Courts Ready Finance's affordability means there's no deposit. There's no need for a lump sum of cash. It's flexible, which means you choose your payment term and you're guaranteed the lowest monthly payments anywhere. Best of all, it's easy. Easy to get and easy to pay. Shop at Courts today and get what you want, hassle-free. Courts Ready Finance. Easy, affordable, flexible.
Have you paid your mapping bill? The 10th of the month is disconnection. Upon disconnection, visit Mapping's main office. You will be required to pay off your balance and the reconnection fee. Reconnections will be done within 72 hours. So, avoid getting disconnected. Pay your mapping bill on time, because life is better with mapping.
Welcome to Holland. Welcome to the country of the world's most famous cows. This is where your Dutch lady milk comes from. Taste our nature at its best. Dutch lady, discover the goodness of milk from Holland.
An African-American teacher based in New York is in Dominica researching African dance forms that have survived here. Dominica is the only country in the Eastern Caribbean which Olibayo Jackson has chosen to conduct her research study on the Bele and Sensei. She teaches dance at a public school in New York, but she is currently on a study sabbatical funded by the New York City Board of Education.
I came here 5 times on my own. I liked it so much that I came in August and booked another trip right back for September because it was so beautiful. And the last time that I came in February, I saw the Sensei Festival in St. Joseph, and I was listening to how it comes from an African tradition, and I could see how the masquerade looks so similar to the masquerade in Nigeria. And I just thought that if there was one place that I would need to go to trace African culture retentions in dance, it would be Dominica. I don't know any other place in the world where the dances have been preserved so exactly as in Dominica. You can really trace the European history, the Carib history, and the African history in the dances.
Trinidad, Belize, and Mali is also on her list of countries to research. Jackson was previously in Ghana and Gambia. As part of her research here, she has already interviewed cultural activists Raymond Lawrence and Delia Coffey Wicks. She will also speak to historian Dr. Lennox Honeychurch and learn ballet from Grand Bay dancers.
I'm recording the dances and I'm sending it back via the internet to my students. So the students are actually learning some of the dances that I will learn here. And then as well, I'm sending back the video of what I recorded here to some of my professors that I've studied with in Ghana so that they can look at it and see if they recognize any of the steps or any of the traditions. As part of the project, I also went to the Madame Wabduet, I went to the Tea Matador, I attended all the Creole in the Park and the Creole Festival. So it'll become part of the larger curriculum so that teachers can teach more about slavery, about African history, and about Caribbean history.
A memorable occasion when the Melville Hall to Pocasset Highway was named after former President His Excellency Nicholas Liverpool over the Independence weekend. Here are some of the highlights from that renaming ceremony.
In recognition of your contribution to national development of the Commonwealth of Dominica, in your honor, this road is renamed Dr. Nicholas Liverpool Highway. For and on behalf of the government and people of Dominica, presented by Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, November 1, 2014.
Dr. Liverpool has been a good and faithful servant of the Commonwealth of Dominica and our region. In his work, he has made an outstanding contribution to Caribbean jurisprudence. He has overcome challenges along the way to rise to the top of his chosen profession. May his example inspire all Dominicans to be achievers and not complainers. Just as Dr. Liverpool took the high road to success, may this 36-kilometer highway from where we are in Pocasset to the Douglas Charles Airport be the road that opens up new opportunities. Be the road that opens up new opportunities for success to those who live along it and who use it regularly. Ladies and gentlemen, on this, the first day of November 2014, the year of our Lord, it gives me great pleasure to name the highway from Pocasset to the Douglas Charles Airport the Dr. Nicholas Liverpool Highway.
On behalf of all members of my family, I must say how grateful we all are for this honor bestowed upon me today. This year, on my 80th birthday, seems to be the year when important local honors are being conferred upon me. I thank the Almighty who has given me the grace and strength to undertake what I have accomplished in my career. I thank the Prime Minister, his cabinet colleagues, and indeed the entire government of the Commonwealth of Dominica for considering me to be a fit person deserving of such a special honor.
In more news, Dominicans were given further assurances in this year's Independence Address that plans for an international airport were on stream.
The Prime Minister says the airport to be constructed at Crumpton Point are expensive but necessary. He believes an international airport will help Dominica to strengthen its foothold in the global economy, resulting in new businesses and jobs.
Our next task is to make connections to Dominica from the major cities throughout the world a reality. In that regard, your government has signed an MOU with a private company in the People's Republic of China for the construction of an international airport in Crumpton Point, using the build, operate, and transfer model.
Mr. Skerrit says 40,000 passengers have landed at the Douglas Charles Airport since the introduction of night landing. He said with economic growth triggered by cheaper, more efficient and reliable energy meant Dominica was now on the threshold of using cleaner and greener energy for the economy.
Thanks to our investments of over $54 million in the development of geothermal energy, we have made a breakthrough which guarantees the feasibility of generating electricity cleanly and cheaply for our country, Dominica. As a result, geothermal power generation in commercial quantities will begin in earnest in 2016.
Cheaper manufacturing and increased ecotourism are two of the expected benefits of geothermal energy.
Liam Sebastian hoping to be fit in time for the upcoming regional 4-day tournament. Sports is next with Gavin Richards.
I am the first to leave town. I am the first to go to university. I am the first to feel this is where I belong. The first to make them this proud. And the first to start a career that will lead to better things for me and my family.
With 23 degrees of study and 60 scholarships exclusively for Caribbean students, St. George's University is your chance to be first.
Christmas at Courts to make this season right, where you'll find all things shiny and bright. The perfect gift for someone dear. The aroma of Christmas goodies is in the air. Whether big or small, for friend or family, we have it all to make the season merry with something special just for you. Courts is the place you must come to. The Courts Ultimate Christmas is finally here. Let's help you bring in the seasonal cheer. Courts, bringing value home.
Trust me, fellas, HIV is for real. Don't take chances, it's not worth it. Use a condom every time, fellas. The choice is yours, don't take chances. I played safe, I use a condom every time. You should as well.
Distinct, authentic, with a storied history. This is not just a drink, it is an attitude. A straight-up approach where the brown-nosing conformers need not apply. It's embracing a chilled manner that leaves the hysteria to the bridesmaids and standing up against the sameness, blandness, and colorless. It's striving for extraordinary, because after all, who wants the ordinary? Appleton Estate. That's how I like it.
First up, some cricket. National captain Liam Sebastian is hoping to be fit in time for the upcoming regional 4-day tournament. Sebastian was forced to withdraw from the Windward Islands tournament after one match with a foot injury. Sebastian had a brilliant start to the campaign with a century against Grenada.
Yeah, I re-aggravated my left Achilles tendon injury. It was an injury that I suffered during the first class season in February. Back then I didn't know exactly what it was, but then eventually I found out and then visited the doctor in St. Lucia after suffering some pain in the same area. Well, the coach had suggested that I shouldn't have taken part in the tournament the night on the eve of the competition, which I declined and I decided to play. But it was a bit uncomfortable batting in the first game, as well as bowling. I only bowled 3 overs because it was uncomfortable and a bit painful. So I had a chat with the coach and the manager, decided to see the doctor, and the doctor said, in terms of with the first class competition coming up, you think that it would be wise to rest and get some treatment because of the demands of the first class season coming ahead. I should be a little bit better next week comes around when the tournament starts. I obviously will not be 100% back, I don't think. I'm hoping that I could get very close to there, and then because obviously the doctor said that I have to manage the injury and I have to be treating it going along.
And just quickly, we can tell you that Dominica has captured the Windward Islands 2-day cricket title. We'll have some more details on that in a future broadcast. In basketball, the removal of 2 teams from the Roseau Valley Basketball League has resulted in a change in schedule for the remainder of the season. The league organizers removed 2 teams for their apparent lack of interest in completing the season. Vice President of the Trafalgar Basketball Committee, Nick Nicholas, says despite the removal of the 2 teams, the league is still running smoothly.
Given the removal of those 2 teams, so we now have to go back to the board and redo the structure so that we would not have any discrepancies and it would not lag in terms of the calculation of games. So we have a smooth flow of games which would be played. And this is the reason for the new fixture. As a result, we are asking all players, all concerned individuals and parties to disregard the previous roster that had been submitted to them and take into effect the new one that was sent out to the Wednesday of November. So far, from the start of the league, we have been progressing as well with minimal hindrances. The weather has been favorable and we are thankful to the Almighty for that. The support from the fans and the players and all concerned has been tremendous, and we would like to exhort everybody that has been there with us to continue supporting the Roseau Valley Basketball League.
And back to cricket news, the tensions between the WICB and the West Indies players have eased and a way forward has been found following meetings over the weekend. This means that the West Indies scheduled tour to South Africa could go ahead in December without any hiccups. According to the reports, the WICB and the West Indies Players Association will now renegotiate the players' contracts, with the players now having a say in payment matters, and WIPA and its chief Wavell Hines will continue to represent the players' interests. Also, it was reported that a 3-man task force has been created to deal with the India Cricket Board's demands from the West Indies Cricket Board. The committee reportedly comprises former West Indies cricketer and Barbados politician Wes Hall, Barbados Chief Minister and former Prime Minister David Simmons, and lawyer and Trinidad and Tobago politician Kenneth Lala. They will go to work immediately given the BCCI's 15-day deadline for the West Indies Cricket Board to respond to its claim of $42 million. Meantime, West Indies Test captain Dinesh Ramdin is claiming victimization as he was removed as captain of the Trinidad and Tobago team for the upcoming 4-day regional tournament. Ramdin has been replaced by Riyad Emrit, and that has not gone down well with Ramdin. Ramdin said that he met with the Trinidad Cricket Board executive on Monday to discuss the forthcoming season and admitted that the move had come as a shock as he had anticipated continuing his tenure as captain. Ramdin then questioned the Trinidad board, saying, and we quote, "So I said, how could I be West Indies captain and play for Trinidad and Tobago under somebody else? When I was captain for the 4-day and 50-over teams and Dwayne Bravo was captain for the West Indies one-day squad, the guys said because he is one-day captain, it would look bad if he comes to play for Trinidad under somebody else, so he captained the team for the Super 50. Now it is the same situation if I am captain for West Indies and have to come back to play under somebody else." End of quote. Ramdin alleged he was being victimized and said that he had been asked about the abandoned India tour during the meeting with the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board. The Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board has denied the allegations. And on the international scene, Australia has been receiving some heavy defeats as of late, and they suffered a heavy 356 runs loss to Pakistan in the second test over the weekend, and a big 7-wicket loss to South Africa in the first T20 on Wednesday. Recapping the scores of the second and final test, Pakistan 570 declared with Yunis Khan getting 213. Australia replied with 261. Pakistan batting a second time declared at 293 for 3, with Misbah-ul Haq scoring the fastest test century of just 57 balls. And Australia set 603 for victory, all out for 246. Pakistan won by 356 runs, with Misbah-ul Haq being named the man of the match, Yunis Khan the man of the series. And Australia, still shell-shocked from their heavy defeat in the final test with Pakistan, crashed to a 7-wicket loss to South Africa in the first T20 on Wednesday. Australia batted first and scored 144 for 6 in their 20 overs. Shane Watson scored 47, James Faulkner got 41. Kyle Abbott picked up 3 for 21 for the South Africans. Needing 145 to win, the South Africans scored 145 for 3, with Riley Urusu scoring 78, and he was also named the man of the match. South Africa leads the 3-match series 1-0, and that's all the time for sports. You can join us next time. I'm Darwin.
And the weather report is next.
The weather is brought to you by Sagicor, wise financial thinking for life.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to tonight's weather. I'm your presenter, Marshall Alexander. Again, we begin by taking a look at earlier infrared satellite imagery and what it showed. A few low-level clouds moving across Dominica during today, resulting in fair to partly cloudy skies during today. Also, this area of multi-layered clouds associated with a frontal boundary affecting Puerto Rico and the Leeward Islands. Now, taking a look at radar imagery and what it showed, a few scattered showers moving across the island chain during today. Tonight's weather is expected to be fair to partly cloudy with a few brief scattered showers, with similar conditions expected into tomorrow. Sea conditions are expected to be moderate in open water with swells up to 8 feet. Small craft operators and sea beavers, particularly on the western and northern coast, are advised to exercise some caution. Conditions for the next 3 days: fair to partly cloudy skies with a few scattered showers can be expected tomorrow, Thursday. However, as we move into Friday and Saturday, an increasing cloudiness with scattered showers can be expected and some thunderstorm activity expected by Saturday. Conditions for the rest of the Caribbean tomorrow: a ridge of high pressure will continue to produce fair to partly cloudy skies with some brief scattered showers across the central and northern portion of the region, with some thunderstorm activity expected across the extreme southern portion of the island chain. Our international cities forecast: some rain can be expected in New York and London, partly cloudy skies expected in Miami and Beijing, with some thunderstorm activity expected in Caracas. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:04 a.m. and sunset at 5:35 p.m. For more information, you can visit our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Join us tomorrow for another weather broadcast. Have a good night.
The weather is brought to you by Sagicor, wise financial thinking for life.
How do I look, Mommy?
Perfect. When you've been here, you know what's important. Protect it with Sagicor, wise financial thinking for life.
To end the news, the headlines again. Parliament dissolved as December 8 is announced as the date for general elections in Dominica. The United Workers' Party officially launches its general election campaign, and research into African dances that have survived here. Send your questions and comments to news@marpin2k4.com. Remember to download the Turn Up 767 app for instant access to the Channel 5 news. On behalf of the production team, I'm Idona Jean-Baptiste. Thanks for watching. Join us again tomorrow.